Before I start this video, I want to say that you can support the channel by joining the Lord Daiki Discord server. We can hang out and have conversations while having a good time, talking about anime, manga, video games, and so much more. Right now we're under 100 members, but with your help we can surpass that. We can literally go even further beyond. So what are you waiting for? You can join the server right now, which will be the first link in the description below. So without further ado, let's get back into the video. So on August 25th, 2017, a strange event occurred. The Netflix movie Death Note came out. And listen to this, no cap, but while watching this from beginning to end, my brain was like, this movie is actually pretty good. Okay, but look, I watched this movie without being aware of the original source material. Like, dude, I was blind. I barely knew much anime at all at that time. All I knew was like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Pokemon, and like Tokyo Ghoul. So after watching the movie, I was like, hey, I got a good idea. How about I watch the original Death Note anime and compare the two? And, ooh. It didn't even take me that long to realize. All I had to do was watch one episode, bruh, and after watching that episode, I just stood there and thought, what the fuck? I realized that live action movies suck. It wasn't very long until I finished the series and I couldn't understand why Netflix would do something like this. In the anime, Light was a manipulative, cunning, and very unpredictable character. But in the movie, he was a dumb, annoying, whiny piece of shit. Basically, Netflix was like, I just flipped a switch. Flip, and then this abomination was created. But after watching that movie, I have no idea why I thought this, but I was quite curious. I wanted to know other live action movies that film producers absolutely messed up, and I definitely regretted that decision. When Hollywood usually tries to make live action series based off of anime, they never get it right. But don't get me wrong, Japan also seems to be pretty bad at it also. From Dragon Ball Evolution to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and even Attack on Titan. Wait, no. Actually, Attack on My Eyes, man. Like, literally every time I hear an announcement for a live action adaptation, I feel like, I feel like writing literally everyone who helped produce that movie in the Death Note myself, bruh. Okay, I need to calm down. But after watching these live action anime adaptations, I realized the problem with them. Like, the people behind the production of these movies don't realize the secret sauce behind making an anime adaptation actually work. But luckily, some in fact do work, like Rurouni Kenshin, Alita Battle Angel, and Edge of Tomorrow. And in case you didn't know, Edge of Tomorrow was actually based off of a manga called All You Need Is Kill. But the main question is, can live action anime adaptations improve? And surprisingly, I actually believe they can. They just need a few tips. One thing that makes live action adaptations hard to make is simply just the way of turning something into a different medium, aka character designs. And I'm not saying that it isn't possible to make a live action adaptation of an anime with strange character designs, but stuff like this? How the fuck? Characters from series like JoJo, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball, and many more are almost to near impossible to adapt the same character designs from the original source material and put it on a live screen. It just does not add up. If you try to adapt Goku's hair on a live screen, it's gonna look very, very weird. It really won't have a fresh feel that reminds you of Dragon Ball. And it's just gonna feel like a cosplay. And if you put JoJo characters on the live screen, it's either gonna work out okay, or characters are gonna look like Lil Nas X in the Grammy. So in my opinion, it's mainly better to go with something quite simple to go with if you're making a live action adaptation. And the best way to go is actually make something worth adapting. Yeah, I know it's cool to see something like an amazing battle shonen adaptation, but the amount of money needed to make something like that is absolutely enormous. Because there are so many weird attacks and weird creatures that will probably use a lot of CGI to make certain characters somewhat real. And when you fail, you get stuff like this. What the hell is this? But when you succeed, you get cool and amazing stuff like this. And guess what? This isn't even a Hollywood production. This is fan made. It's videos like these that can make live action anime adaptations seem like something we can hit the jackpot on someday. But there are still things that are also major factors that affect the production of anime live action adaptations, and that is cast. The certain characters in a live action anime adaptation is something film producers should really pay attention to when creating movies like these. The anime community is very, very sensitive when it comes to these things, and when the film fails to achieve that objective, then things like this happen. Whitewashing! I call whitewashing! Most anime and manga take place in Japan. Most anime and manga fans are expecting an Asian cast, though there are series that aren't very distinct on the ethnicity of characters, like, for examples, One Punch Man and One Piece. Recently, we just got news of a One Piece live-action series that was being made by Netflix and a One Punch Man live-action film that was being made by SONY. But all jokes aside, it isn't really known whether Saitama can still be portrayed as Japanese in a live-action film. I mean, not saying that it isn't possible to make him Japanese, but putting him in a different ethnic group wouldn't piss me off too much, to say the least. And that's where appealing to a wider audience comes from. Sony and Netflix are worldwide businesses, and when they're trying to produce these live-action anime adaptations, I doubt their direct target is going to be towards a bunch of weebs. And if that's the case, then they would just rewrite the whole story without doing anything about it. And although some people may say that they prefer this better than what Hollywood actually does, I'd argue that it's not what defines a true anime adaptation, it's just rewriting of the same story. Changing up a few things involving the manga to the point where it's not a drastic change is a better and more interesting approach in making a live action adaptation, in my opinion. In case you didn't know, all but one of the Straw Hats in One Piece is actually Japanese, but guess what? It doesn't even matter. Just saying, but if you looked at one One Piece character and had to guess where they were from, an Asian country will probably not be the first to come to mind, which is luckily something producers don't really have to worry about in the production of this 10-part One Piece series coming out soon. And the same goes for One Punch Man. If every single character consisted of a full Asian cast, then it would feel like the whole film is supposed to be directed towards the anime community and Japan. But if we had a little bit of diversity in the cast, then the film will have a broader audience that will check out the film, and we might get some new One Punch Man fans. This is what the Death Note live action movie tried to accomplish. It didn't do a bad job making the film appeal to a wider audience because it definitely helped attract new anime fans, but the problem is, the movie was still a pile of shit. So in all honesty, if you want to make a good anime adaptation, it's okay to diverge from the main source, but not too drastic to the point where you can't even follow the same movie anymore. And speaking of main sources, the final and most important step to creating a great anime live-action adaptation is understanding the source material. This is key when making an anime adaptation based on the original manga. Stuff like long-running shonen are the hardest to nail down when it comes to this because it's just simply too long. It will really affect on how the movie is made because it's either going to be super rushed or it's going to require multiple movies to finish the story. And that's where I bring all the points that I was saying into this video into one final message. The best way to adapt an anime adaptation is to keep it as simple as possible. If you have the budget to make a anime with lots of great action scenes and weird character designs, then go for it. That is, if you can try. But something that is easy to adapt will definitely be more beneficial to both the audience and the producers. If you want to make a good live action anime adaptation, you need an anime that doesn't have weird character designs. You also need to have a diverse cast. It not only needs to appeal to the fans, but a broader audience. And last but not least, you need to at least stick to the source material without changing the character's personality, traits, and many more. I honestly truly believe we can make this possible, guys. It's just only going to take time. Hey, look, it took quite a bit for America to get their own superhero movies right, not to mention that America can't even get it right with their cartoons into live action adaptation, which aren't very different from anime, to be honest. But like they always say, experience is the best teacher, and maybe with enough experience we can finally hit the target and get the live action anime adaptation we've always wanted. Because we've obviously achieved this before, but the real question is, can we do it again?